My name is Michael Ayers. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Vice President of the Illinois Chamber, and I've been working with Sikich for about 10 years now. The Chamber is organized in a way that we have a presence in both Chicago, which is where most of the businesses of the state locate, and then we have our office here in Springfield. Obviously, we're an advocacy organization, so being close to the state capitol is important to us.
The Illinois Chamber is an advocacy organization that has a series of programs that we support businesses with. Oftentimes individual companies are not comfortable talking to legislators, or they would prefer to have the Chamber brand and the reach of the Chamber organization representing their individual company or their industry. In short, we do what a lot of companies can't do for themselves, or for a lot of people do not have resources to devote full time to taxation or human resource issues, environmental issues, infrastructure issues, energy, healthcare. Those are all subject matter that we have talent and expertise on. We track legislation, we issue reports, we do weekly phone calls, we do weekly emails, and do our best to engage grassroots business owners to tell their story to their local elected officials about whatever issue is timely at the moment.
We have corporations that are huge, and then we have businesses that are very small. They may be sole proprietorships, partnerships. They gain from us, particularly on legislative issues, that we can line up with them and support issues that will reduce their costs as manufacturers, as producers, or as service companies. We do conferences on major policy issues. We're in our 5th year for providing a conference that focuses on healthcare issues, and we focus those in a way to try to help employers who come to that conference learn how to navigate the healthcare system and to reduce their business operating costs. More recently, we've added a component to our mission that has to do with supplying HR materials to businesses. These handbooks are written for business people to be able to sit down and read and understand. They're not in legalese, they're not state statutes just repeated in a book, and they're set up as a guide.
Someone has to speak up for the employer, someone has to speak up for the economy, and someone has to speak up when bad public policy decisions are being offered in Springfield. That's what the Illinois Chamber does every day.
We've enjoyed a relationship at the Illinois Chamber with Sikich since about 2001. I began looking at our cost structure and what we were paying for various things. At that time, we had an audit firm that was in Chicago and felt like we could probably get the same quality of audit support in Springfield. We decided that one of the best things that we could look for was not only competence, but someone that we could trust. So I went to visit Dan Call, talked about hiring Dan as an auditor. We brought Sikich in to audit our books. They did a great job. Simultaneously, I was continuing to analyze the staffing arrangements that we had at the Chamber at the time, and we had a fairly sizable number, relatively speaking, of our staff that were doing the accounting function. I went and visited with Dan a little bit about what would it look like if we outsourced our accounting to you. So we went through a restructuring and outsourced our financial operations to Sikich, and that was our introduction. We've always been very pleased with what they do. It's been easy for us to interact with the staff. The accountant that was assigned to the Chamber was Angie Leach. She was always available when we needed her. Her reports were always accurate and timely. It was just almost seamless. When they branched into the IT side of the world, we were simultaneously trying to figure out how we were going to handle that. So we again went to Sikich and said, you know, we need somebody that we can rely on, that's dependable, at a reasonable cost, to help us maintain all of our information technology and our processes. So we ended up entering an agreement to outsource that to Sikich as well. And we've been extremely satisfied with that. They assigned an individual named Terry Garner to us, and Terry's been with us over the years. So that one thing that has been very helpful to us is the continuity. And the quality of the work that we get is it's outstanding.
Obviously, we have great confidence and reliability in their financial assistance, but increasingly we're now using Sikich in IT purposes. They have the advantage of being able to service both of our offices, the Chicago office and the Springfield office, because Sikich is statewide in its reach.
As we all know, in managing any operation, anxiety can take up time. And I don't have anxiety relative to Sikich.